So I went to the diagnosis. I went to the impairments. He still was still trying to cut me off. He still wanted me to. He didn't want me to go through. I was just like, hey, hang in there for me just a little while longer. When I got down to the duties
Well,
under
wait a
duress,
minute. Wait a minute. What was he trying to cut you off to? Where was he trying to lead you? To
he
where?
was trying to lead me to basically. He was saying, hey, doc, you're basically trying to tell me you're gonna make me a lot of money.
So he was basically just trying to cut it short and cut you off. So it sounds like he was not trying to go to the myths or service factors.
Right,
Okay. Okay. So he'd already heard all the other chiropractors' presentations on how they're going to make them a lot of money, right?
right.
Yeah. So he was fed up with that. Okay. So you get his patients, you ask him to hold on, and then what happens? You go through number two, the impairments, and then what's he start talking like?
That's when he mentioned actually after the second one, after the after he was 0 for 2, I said you're 0 for 2, and I directed him towards. So what are you looking at? Are you looking at a no offer? And he didn't. That's when he said, I know what you're doing. I know you're trying to tell me you're gonna make me a lot of money and all of this stuff. And so I just reiterated again, just hanging with me, hanging with the end. I know you may have heard this before. By the time I got down to number 5, he was locked in. He realized at that moment that he did not know what he thought he knew. And he realized at that moment that I wasn't about just making him money. I was helping him to try to stop losing money.
Right. That's what got his attention.
Yes.
Now, so you finished the fifth financial driver, and of course that's where all the money was. Out of the five, how many of those categories was he getting from his doctors?
Just one.
One. Yeah. And that's pretty standard what I keep talking about, right? They're only typically getting
Right.
one of the five top financial driver categories. And he did not even know that, did he?
He had no idea.
And you got him to admit
He
all
had
that.
no idea. I got him to admit all of that. By the time we were done, Doc, he only had 3 out of 10. And I
And
applied
that's
those numbers.
that's common. One of the top five and only 3 out of 10. Remember, we told you that. That's
Yep.
what's happening out there, and they don't even know it. Now, did he say anything in particular when you got him to admit how this is affecting his injury award? Did he say any particular that you remember that the light bulb went off, that he's losing money?
So after I applied it to the number he gave me, initially it was 30. And then when I came back and I said, so
Well,
you said it was 30.
before you go there,
Okay.
I'm still in the presentation. You're at you finished the fifth financial driver. He's 1 for 5. What's his demeanor? Is he smiling? Is he happy? What's his demeanor?
His his countenance kind of changed, but he was locked in as opposed to initially he was trying to rush me through. I already know this. Oh, I've heard
Okay.
this before.
So now he's
Now
listening
he
to
was
you.
very attentive. Now he's listening. Now he's locked in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you continue on and you do all the micro agreements, right? For every topic.
Yes.
And it turns out he's only getting 3 out of 10. And you got him to admit that.
Yes.
Okay. So you finish up, you got him to admit he's only getting 3 out of the 10 categories, and you got him to admit how it's affecting his injury award.
Yes.
Okay. You see how you wouldn't have had a chance in hell if you'd talked about making him money?
No chance at all.
See?
No shot.
All right. So you finish up your 3 out of 10. You go to do the math, and what happens? You add the
When
math.
I added it up, he was losing. I told him he was losing almost $2 million a year.
Did you do 30 cases or 20?
I did the 20 because he changed on me. He said, well, it's really 20. I said,
Okay.
okay, well, let's go 20.
Yeah. And
20
that's what you should
times.
have done is gone to the lower number.
Yep.
Okay. So you say 20. And see how important it is to get these numbers in the beginning
Yes, so
before
important.
before they understand what's going on, because they'll change them on you.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he would have never gave me that. He would
Yeah,
have never, the way he fought me.
nobody likes to admit that they're losing or they're a loser or things are going bad. Okay, so you got 20 and he's 3 out of 10. And did you add that up at roughly $1,000 a case or $1,000 a point of documentation?
Yes.
He didn't have any trouble with that, did he?
No, he didn't.
Okay. So that's $7,000 a case you got him to agree to, right?
Yes.
And then you multiplied that times 20.
Yes.
That's 140,000. What are 2 times 7,
140,000.
440,000 a month?
Yep.
What did he say when you got to that number?
He was kind of frozen. He didn't say much until I multiplied it times 12 months.
And then you took it over a year, 140 times a year. So that is, whoa, that's 1.4. That's like 1.67 million, right?
I basically said it's almost $2 million. I said almost $2 million
Yeah.
that you're losing out of.